Hi everyone, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I am broadcasting to you from Budapest, Europe. I hope everybody is having a great day so far. I know we're getting into some nice spring weather here, and it's warming up a bit. Our materials for this class, this is a reading class for IELTS, and the passage with the audio is coming from our website for academic IELTS. Check us out at aehelp.com. That's academicenglishhelp.com. And for general IELTS, visit us at ieltshelp.com, where we have loads of great materials for you to get a higher band score the next time you sit the IELTS. So definitely check us out there. This is what our academic IELTS website looks like. Click on that big red button to join it. And if you're studying for general IELTS, it looks like this with the green background. Click that big red button at gieltshelp.com and join it. All right, students, if you have questions about IELTS, or about our products, don't hesitate. Send me an email. Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, that's my name, at aehelp.com. Hello, everyone joining in. Hi, Nepali. Hi, Shahed. Hi, members. Thank you, members, for your support. Hi, Rahul. Good to see you in class. Today, academic reading. Tomorrow, it's a members chat. So, members, please send me some recommendations for these members chat classes so I can schedule them for you. That's one of your perks for being a channel member. All right, make sure you do that. Okay, students, today's reading passage is Tristan de Cunha, an island of remote curiosity. Okay, that is the topic of today's reading passage. And just to get us warmed up, okay, what we're going to do is we're just going to read. All right, let's just do some reading. On our website, you have audio for all of the reading passages. This one you can probably see here is CD 3 because it's coming out of our exam 3, and it's track number 5. Should be track number 5. So I'm going to play this through my microphone. So if it's quiet, try to use a headset or just turn up your volume. Your goal here, students, just read nice and loud, okay? Try to do some aloud reading, okay? Aloud reading, okay? That means hear yourself read aloud. You probably didn't see me put that over, but it's the word aloud, aloud. So read nice and loud. All right, just going to hop over to the website here, log in to my student account up at the top there. And then once I'm logged in, I can open up my CDs and the tour, open up the CDs, and this is CD 3, track 5, should be. Here we go. All right, students, so again, here your goal, just read nice and loud. Try to visualize, picture what you're reading, and practice your reading fluency. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Tristan de Cunha, an island of remote curiosity. Tristan de Cunha is an island in the South Pacific Ocean, formed by volcanic activity and part of the British Overseas Territory, called Saint Helena, Ascension, and Tristan de Cunha. Tristan de Cunha is generally considered to be the most remote inhabited place on Earth. Because of its extreme isolation and small population, Tristan de Cunha is a fascinating experiment in sociology and genetics. The island was first discovered in 1506 by a Portuguese explorer named Tristan de Cunha, who named the island after himself. The name of the island was later anglicised by the inhabitants into Tristan de Cunha. In 1816, the United Kingdom annexed the island, taking control of it. They used it as a marine military base for a number of decades in the 19th century, before it fell into disuse after the construction of the Suez Canal. The Second World War, however, brought renewed purpose to the island. It was used as a top-secret British naval station, codenamed HMS Atlantic Isle. The purpose of the station was to monitor the waters for German U-boats. According to a recent census, the island has a population of just 263 people, who mainly reside in the settlement known as Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. It is thought that the residents of the island descend from just 15 ancestors, of which 8 were male and 7 were female. Because the reproduction pool is so small, the residents of the island suffer from a number of medical disorders. There is rampant asthma on the island, which is thought to be a result of the known fact that 3 of the original founders of the island suffered from asthma. Based on the endemic asthma afflicting inhabitants of the island today, it is thought that there is a genetic underpinning for the condition. Further evidence comes from islanders commonly suffering from glaucoma, a degenerative eye condition, which, left untreated, can result in blindness. There are just 8 surnames among the 263 residents of Tristan de Cunha, corresponding roughly to the 8 original male ancestors. Since there is almost no emigration to the island, the surnames are kept intact for many generations. Education on the island is very limited. Children only attend school until the age of 15, with the option of taking the British Standardised Test for secondary school graduates once they have completed schooling. As a consequence of the low quality of education, standardised test scores are generally very poor. Another indication of the island's remoteness and relative lack of contact with the outside world is that the English spoken amongst its natives is very different from that spoken of the rest of the world. Arguably, one of the most interesting facts about Tristan de Cunha was that until the aftermath of the Second World War, the only currency in place was the potato. For example, the newspaper, the Tristan Times, could be purchased for 4 big potatoes. Today, Tristan de Cunha uses the British pound as its currency, which is odd because neighbouring Saint Helena, 2,173 kilometres away, of which Tristan de Cunha shares its status as a British overseas territory, uses the Saint Helena pound and not the British pound. Since Tristan de Cunha was formed by volcanic activity and the volcano which formed it is still active, the inhabitants of the island live in constant danger of volcanic eruption. The last such eruption occurred as recently as 1961, when all of the islanders had to be evacuated to England. While some communities around the world participate in fire, earthquake or tornado drills, the residents of Tristan de Cunha participate in evacuation drills, where they practice the protocol for evacuation of the island in case of volcanic eruption. The Tristan economy is built mainly upon farming. All land is owned by the community. That is to say, there is no individual land ownership. Another significant part of the economy is the exportation of crayfish and lobster, mainly to Japan and the United States. A fire that occurred in 2008 greatly affected both the domestic and export economies. Tristanians are fiercely proud and independent people. Even when given the choice to stay in England after exile due to the volcanic eruption, almost every resident returned to the island.
Okay, so that is your IELTS reading passage for the academic IELTS, but it could also be your Section 3 reading passage for general IELTS. So here, we're reading about Tristan de Cunha, which is an island of remote curiosity. And a very good exercise to do at home to improve your reading score for IELTS and your reading comprehension is practice asking and answering questions with a partner after you read a passage, okay? So let me ask you a couple of questions before we even look at the passage questions. What is this island? What's special about it? What's special about this island? This passage, Rekha, is passage number 1 for exam number 3, okay, in your first exam book. Okay, so why is this? Hi, Amardeep. Why is this island? Olga, very good. Olga says it is remote. Okay, so the answer to my question is this island is interesting because it is very remote. In fact, it is considered the most remote inhabited place on Earth. Okay, and why else? What is another reason? Amit says it's made from volcanic activity. Yep, that's fine. Okay. It has a remote location. Rahul, very good. That's the other answer. Yeah, it has a low population. Low population, sure. All right, sure. All right. It's surrounded by the ocean. All right, sure. Who discovered the island? Or what nationality? Who discovered this island? They speak different kinds of English. That's right. Faiza, it's useful to study genetics. Yeah, that's a good one for the first answer. Rekha says potato was used as the currency. Good. Okay, great. Pachu, thank you for answering my question. It was discovered by Portugal. What was the captain's name? So yeah, that's right. It was discovered by a Portuguese captain. What was his name? Anybody? What was the captain's name who discovered this island? Hopefully everybody knows the answer to that question. Yeah. Amit says, well, that's the name of the island. Tristan de Cunha, yeah. Something like that. Tristan da Cunha. Okay, good. What did the British use the island for? So in the mid-20th century. It's my next question. In the mid-20th century, what did the British use the island for? Olga, very good. Olga says it was used as a military base. Sure. Can you be more specific? What was the purpose of this top secret military base? Very good. Yeah. What was the purpose of it? To do what? Okay, Malad, you're right. Yeah, sure. JP Singh, yeah, naval operations in World War II. So top secret military base for naval operation in World War II. To do what? To save themselves. Yeah, sure. But it was something more specific than that. To monitor or survey German U-boats. And for those of you who are not sure what are these U-boats, they're the first submarines. Okay, so the first automated submarines used for military. They're called U-boats, German U-boats. All right, good. Okay, students, so I see that you're getting the hang of this. This is what you should do at home. Sometimes students worry too much about the IELTS questions and they forget to focus on improving their overall ability to understand text, okay? So a really, really good exercise is this here. Practice asking and answering questions with a partner after you read an IELTS reading passage. So don't worry about the true, false, not given, filling in the blanks, summary completion. Just focus on the text and then take turns. So one of you asks a question from your partner answers. Then you say, okay, that's correct or that's wrong. And then you switch and you keep going like that. Now, it's important to try to follow with the sequence of the reading. So in the same order, okay? So try to go by paragraph 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 in the same order, all right? It's really, really good practice for improving your active reading skills. All right, students, let's have a look at the questions now. Okay. The first question here is, which paragraph contains the following information? Okay, so this type of question is called matching information. It's a matching information type question. And there are a couple of strategies that are very useful. Okay, so we'll talk about those strategies. Okay. M.A. Clay, don't use keyword methods, as that is not an effective strategy, okay? Skimming, scanning, trying to figure it out by keywords. If you need a band 7, students, this is especially if you need a band 7 or more, you cannot scan the text or just search for keywords. It will not work to get high band scores. If it does, so if you can get a band 7 just by scanning and skimming the text and searching for keywords, you can actually get a higher score if you use some other better strategies. Okay? All right. So let's talk strategy for matching information. Okay, well, first of all, do not try to search, skim, scan for this type of question. You shouldn't for any of them, but especially for this one, because you will waste a lot of time, okay? You have to read the text for this question. You have 10 minutes. Students, you have about 10 minutes to read the passage. Arju KC is asking, why should I not just search for keywords? Can anybody answer that? Can any of the other students that have been in these classes or that did IELTS a few times, can you answer that question for our students who are wondering about why we can't search for keywords? So let's just take a minute, because I think some of you are really confused. And you're thinking, oh, well, my other teachers always say just search for keywords. So let me just take a side note here, an anecdote. So why is it not effective to search for keywords? Can anybody answer that question? There's a very logical answer, very simple logical answer for that. So what's the reason for that? Why? You'll find some. Okay, so Clay, you'll probably find a few answers that way, but you won't find all of them, and you'll run out of time. Okay, JP Singh says keywords may appear multiple times. Yep. Yeah. That's one reason. What's another reason? Yeah, it definitely wastes a lot of time. Kinimaro says, sometimes it's hard to find them. The reason why it's hard to find them is because they're paraphrased. It's a synonym, a description, an expression is used instead. Okay? In fact, often they'll appear in the wrong place. Okay? So where you're searching and where you actually find that keyword is not actually where the answer is. That's different information. Okay? So these are 3 reasons why just searching for keywords will not help you to get a band 7. That's right, put you. They're paraphrased. So keywords can appear multiple times. They can be paraphrased, so you don't actually see the same word in the passage. You see a synonym or a description instead. And they will often be in a different or wrong context. So you actually find that word, and you're like, oh, great, I found the word. It's fantastic. But it's absolutely a different part of the passage for a different question. Okay? Harmeet says, yeah, and it's not that hard to keep the passage in mind when you practice active reading. Definitely, okay? So again, students, if you're going for those high band scores, these are reasons why you should not just be searching for keywords or skimming and scanning. Matching information, this question that we're doing right now, it's pretty much impossible to get a good score if you're just scanning and skimming, okay? Doesn't work, okay? So you have to actually understand what you're doing. Okay, so strategy for matching information. Do not search, do not skim, okay? You have to read the passage, okay? Identify whether the information is introductory paragraph, body, or conclusion. Identify, this will help you to identify whether it's in the first third, the second third, or the third third. Okay, I'll show you this in a moment, so don't confuse yourself. Just be a little bit patient. I'll explain this very, very clearly. Okay, so identify whether it's a what, a why, or a how. Said another way, whether it's a topic, an explanation, or example. Let me show you, okay? And then you will not be confused. So I'm going to show you this in a very, very simple way. Arju, reading the passage should not take your time. You should be able to read the passage in 10 minutes and understand about 70%, okay? That's your goal. If you are a band 7 or higher student, so you need at least, or even a 6.5, then you need to be able to read the passage in 10 minutes and understand roughly 70%, okay? Remember that a high school student in grade 12 in Canada or the US or UK can read these passages and understand them in about 5-6 minutes, okay? If you're going to study in university, you have to read 150 pages every week, approximately, for your major, okay? So you need to practice. Here we go. Let me show you this, okay? So again, matching information question strategy, okay? Identify whether the information is introductory, body, or conclusion, and then figure out if it's a what, a why, or a how. Take a look. Okay. The different types of money used in the island. Is this the introductory paragraph? Is it body paragraph? Or is it a conclusion? The different types of money used on the island. Okay, I'm going to show you this right away. So we have to match it to paragraph A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. All right, Eunice says that's probably body paragraph, not a conclusion. Okay, most of you agree that that should be body paragraph information. Okay, so it's body. Is it a topic? Is it an explanation? Or is it an example? So is it topic, explanation, or example? Okay, I'm glad that a lot of you now have realized that, okay, that's going to be body paragraph. And Manisha's saying that's probably an explanation. Wasim is saying it's an example. Okay. So, yeah, so it's an explanation or example. All right, logically then, in the text, do you think it's coming from the first third, the second third, or the final third of the reading? So which one do you think it's coming from? First third, second third, or third third? Where would you put it? If you were writing this passage, where would you put it? Okay, look, great agreement among the students. So a lot of the students are saying, well, I think that's second third. Okay, so now, notice I have paragraphs A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay? This is my final third, this is my first third, and this is my body, right? So it's C, D, and E. So now, if I have to search for this information, different types of money used on the island, then I realize that it's going to be somewhere here. Okay, you're doing great. Now, if you're a band 9 level student, you probably remember what kinds of currency was used. So what was used on the island? What type of currency was used on the island to pay? What did people use to pay money? Okay, Eunice says that it is the potato. Okay, Amardeep says tomato, but we say potato. Okay, so now I remember all of my most important points. And this is why you can't search for keywords. It doesn't say potato anywhere in here, but if you're searching for a word, you're searching for the word potato. Now you know that you need to look for potato, and you need to look for that in C, D, and E. Okay? So, great, let's do that. Let's have a quick peek at the passage, starting with C. Okay, so now I can be more accurate and look for the word potato. So I'm looking here, according to recent consensus, the population is 263 people. It is thought that the resident from just 15 ancestors. All right. I don't think it's here because this is talking about the original people. So I'm going to jump to D, okay? There are 8 surnames on the island. Male ancestors, all right. That doesn't make sense either. So here we go. Education is very poor on the island, so this is about education. So E is about education, D is about surnames. So I keep going, okay? All right. Do I see it there? No. So I've jumped a little bit too far ahead. Oh, here we go. F, sorry. All right, arguably one of the most interesting was that the aftermath, the only currency in place was the potato. So there's the word potato, finally. Okay, it took me a little bit longer, but at least I didn't search from the beginning. So I didn't look at paragraph A, B, so C and D. And we're right, it is roughly in the middle. It's just at the end of the middle. Still better than having to read everything. So we know that the correct answer is F. Okay, so there we go. So we know that number 1 is F. Okay, let's do one more. Exam results of Tristan students. So exam results of Tristan students, body paragraph, I'm sure all of you will agree. Okay, it's going to be somewhere in the second third. And if I'm looking for a key word, in this case, students or exams. So now, because I found this one quite efficiently or quite effectively, I know that the answer for this one is somewhere nearby. Okay, so using the right strategy will make the answers faster and faster for the next question. All right, Amin says, I think that was E. Okay, well, let's take a look. So we know that the first one's F. So we know we're somewhere in the middle. E, education on the island is very limited. Okay. Sure, we have to be careful. Standardized test scores are generally very poor. So notice here it says standardized test scores. So again, this is another example of why you need to be careful searching for just keywords. Because here we don't have the word exam, we have the word test, okay, instead of the word exam. So there's a good example of paraphrasing. So the answer is E. Okay, great. So E it is. Let's keep going. Discussion of the original inhabitants of the island. So discussion of the original inhabitants of the island. Body paragraph, introduction, or conclusion. What do you think? So discussion of the original inhabitants of the island. Body or introduction. Bhumit's saying, is it always possible to find the answer by reading the first lines and the last lines? No, absolutely not. The answers can easily be from the middle of the paragraph. So that's a silly advice that some teachers say that it's in the beginning or the end. It's not true. Okay, Pachu says that's probably the body. I would say body as well. Okay? Original inhabitants, so the people who lived there originally. It's probably the body. And is it a what, a why, or a how? Is it a topic? Is it an explanation, or is it an example? So take it step by step, students. Don't try to, especially when you're practicing this at home, go step by step, okay? It's the original inhabitants of the island. I would agree with Rekha. I would say it's topic. It takes practice, ladies and gents, to do this strategy correctly. So it's a topic. We're talking about who these people are. Okay? The who is the topic here. Who is like a what, but for people. Okay? All right? Baby steps, Leandro. That's right. Baby steps. Step by step. So it's body. It's a topic. We're talking about who. Okay, who are the original inhabitants of the island? Now this is, again, if you have good reading skills, you should remember this. Who are the original people that lived on this island? You should remember this from reading the text. It was very clear. Who lived there first? Binjana, just hang in there. It'll make sense, okay? In a moment here. It's not the British. The British didn't live there first, Muhammad. Definitely not the British. Okay, so who lived there? Anybody remember? It was 8 men and 7 women, right? So it is believed that 8 men and 7 women were the first people to live there. It's the body paragraph. It's a topic sentence, right? I know that it's somewhere in the first third or in the second third. Okay, so somewhere around there. So it's going to be B, C, or D, in my opinion. It'll be one of these 3. Okay, hi Jyoti. Good to see some more members coming in. So body paragraph, this is topic 8 men, 7 women. So I'm looking for this 8 men, 7 women information in B, C, or D. Okay? That's what I'm going to look for. That's what makes most sense. Okay? All right, let's take a look. Okay, so the island was first discovered. So this is the discovery of the island. It's not really the people. Okay, so C says, according to a recent census, the island has a population of 263 people who mainly reside. Okay, it is thought that the residents of the island descend from just 15 ancestors. 8 were male and 7 were female. All right, if you're only reading the first sentence and the last sentence, you will not find that information. So there's an example of why you do not read just the first and last sentences. This is still part of the topic sentence. Okay, in this body paragraph, the topic includes 2 sentences. It starts here, the what, and it finishes here. This whole 2 sentences here are the topic. Okay, so the correct answer is C. All right, so just like that. Again, practice this and you'll become very quick. I'm taking some time here to do this. I'm working through it with you. But if I were doing the exam, it would be going very, very quickly. These answers would be going very, very fast. Okay, so here the correct answer is F, E, and C. Okay. The island as an armed forces outpost. Okay, so the island as an armed forces outpost. Body, introduction, conclusion, body, right? Topic or explanation or example. What is it? Probably more of an explanation, right? What was the island used for? Well, it was used for as a, yeah, so I would say it's closer to an explanation. Okay, so it's a body paragraph, it's explanation, and I would say it's somewhere around the 2/3. And if I remember correctly, it's a British military. Okay, so I'm looking at paragraphs D, E, maybe F. Okay, so I'm going to start with D and then look for this British military. So let's do that now. So I'll speed up so you can see how quickly you can actually do this once you understand how it works. So D, there are 8 surnames. No. Education on the island is limited. Okay, that doesn't look like it makes sense. Okay. Okay, arguably one of the most interesting facts is aftermath of the Second World War. So, okay, I have the Second World War here, but it's after the Second World War, so I have to be careful with that. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to look in the beginning now, okay, at the history of it, because I realize that those paragraphs have different topics. So here's the discovery, okay, the United Kingdom annexed the island, controlled it. Oh, and here we go, Marine Military Base. So I had to do a little bit of backtracking, but identifying the topic of each paragraph, I realized that it has to be an earlier paragraph. So it has to be B, and here I find that it's a Marine Military Base. Okay? So paragraph B it is. Again, remember, once you figure out correctly a few of the answers, the other ones will become faster. Okay? Geography of the island. Introduction, body paragraph, or conclusion? Where do you think you'll find that? The last one, geography of the island. Harmeet says that's got to be an intro, right? What's the passage about? It's about an island. It should be the introduction. It makes logical sense. And it will probably be an explanation, right? So we have an island called Tristan de Cunha. It's located here, right? So that should make sense. Let's have a look at paragraph A. Tristan de Cunha is an island in the south. I'm going to give you a little correction here. It's not South Pacific, it's South Atlantic Ocean, formed by volcanic activity. Okay, so okay, that's the geography of the island. So A it is. That makes sense. That's an easy one. It's the introduction. Great. Fantastic. All right, so the next time that you are doing this kind of a question, use this strategy, practice this strategy at home, and you'll see that it's very effective. Once you do it a few times, you'll become very quick. So read the passage, and you'll be able to solve these 5 questions in 2 minutes. Okay, and then you still have lots of time for the other questions. So you'll still have 6-7 minutes. Okay. Yes, Laxman, absolutely. So Laxman Pandey is asking, should I read the whole passage first so I can deal with the questions quickly? Yes, absolutely, Laxman. That's the idea. Read the passage first so that you can answer the questions quickly and confidently, okay? If you're not reading the passage, you're just trying to answer the questions without reading, it's going to be much slower and you will not be confident. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I'll make a note of that for you, all right? So the big difference, this is the big difference here. Okay. When you read the passage, before you answer the questions, you will not only answer much faster and more accurately, but you will also be confident. Okay, so again, if you just try to search for answers, it will take a lot of time. You will not be confident. And of course, logically, you're going to likely make more mistakes. So keep that in mind the next time you're just trying to do a skimming and scanning type of strategy. The faster you avoid that, the faster you will improve your band score. We've had many students who changed their reading technique and strategy to correct approach of reading the passage, answering questions, and then we got an email from them a couple weeks later saying, wow, my reading band score improved by 1.5 or 2 bands since I stopped just searching for answers. Okay. All right. So let's now look at the other questions and answer these. Here we go. All right, so here, match the following places with facts about them from the passage. Okay, so here we have to match the place with the information. And again, this type of question is extremely difficult, if not impossible, if you're just trying to search or skim or scan for the passage. So we have A, Saint Helena, B, Tristan de Cunha, C, United Kingdom, D, Portugal. For this type of question, it's really important that you try to understand the whole passage. You could try to search if you're really lost for the names, but be careful because they might appear in multiple places. All right, let's answer these questions. So, took political control of the island in the 19th century. Okay, so now that we read and talked lots about this passage, who took control of the island in the 19th century? Saint Helena, Tristan de Cunha, United Kingdom, or Portugal? Okay, Amin, Mandeep, Omaima saying C. Yeah, because they use it as a military base, right? It's good. Okay, uses its own currency. So which of these places uses its own currency? Saint Helena, Tristan de Cunha, United Kingdom, or Portugal? Okay, some of you are saying Saint Helena, some of you are saying Tristan de Cunha. Well, if you're not sure, you now know that here we're talking about currency. Okay, so let's say I'm not sure about this one. And you need to check. Where can you check? Where can you check the answer for this one? Uses its own currency. So if I need to go back, if I want to make sure that I get that correct, look at some of you are saying A, some of you are saying B, so there's no agreement, and I want to be sure, and I don't want to waste a lot of time. A student said just earlier that you can use different questions. So this is present tense, uses its own currency, okay? Which paragraph is it in? Which paragraph can I find it in? Instead of trying to think of the currency, the potato or the pound or what, which paragraph is it in? I know which paragraph it's in. 100% sure. Paragraph what? I don't think it was paragraph B. Maria Faye Gonzalez says F. Look at all of you saying F. Why are you saying F? Because remember this question here? The different types of money used on the island. Remember you answered that with F, so you're sure it's F, right? So now for this question, you're like, oh, wait a second, no problem. I don't have to panic. I know that the answer is here somewhere, okay? So after the Second World War, the only currency in place was the potato, okay? Could be purchased for 4 big potatoes. Tristan de Cunha uses the British pound, so no, which is odd because neighboring Saint Helena, uses the Saint Helena pound. So Saint Helena uses the Saint Helena pound. Another example, students, of why you can't just search for information in the first or last sentence. So who uses their own currency? Saint Helena. Saint Helena uses the Saint Helena pound, right? I can find that answer quickly because I know that this is the paragraph which contains information about currency, right? So logic helps me a lot here, okay? Remember to use answers from other questions. You can only do that if you read the passage, okay? So you can't do that if you're just skimming and scanning. You have to read the passage. So C for that one. Sorry, let's go down a little bit. So C for that one here, and A for this one, right? Saint Helena. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. All right, home to Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. 8. Home to Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. Is it Saint Helena, Tristan de Cunha, United Kingdom, or Portugal? Number 8 should be an easy one. Okay. Home to Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. It is the one and only city on Tristan de Cunha, so it has to be B. Right? Okay, it's the city. You should remember that. So when you read the text and they say that most people on Tristan de Cunha live in the city of, or the settlement of Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, you have to be able to remember that, okay, students? So hopefully you're not searching for that, okay? If you had to, you could search for this, but it might take you a really long time, and you'll waste a lot of time. So you should hopefully remember that that was Tristan de Cunha. Okay, origin of the name Tristan de Cunha. This should be an easy one also. So where the name Tristan de Cunha comes from. Saint Helena, Tristan de Cunha, United Kingdom, or Portugal. And this is for number 9. It should be fairly easy. Okay. Yeah, Portugal, absolutely. Okay, it's named after the Portuguese captain. Islanders had to be evacuated here after a natural disaster. Okay, so number 10. Where did the people on the island have to run to? Saint Helena, Tristan de Cunha, United Kingdom, or Portugal? This is number 10. So islanders had to be evacuated here to this location. Where did they need to go? FISA says that's the UK. They had to go to the UK. C, because it's a territory of the United Kingdom. Absolutely. So you're correct. All right. And the last question, discovered the island. Number 11, who discovered the island? Saint Helena, Tristan de Cunha, United Kingdom, or Portugal? Discovered the island. Last one. Yeah, it's D, right? That's why the name Tristan de Cunha comes from the Portuguese captain, because the Portuguese captain discovered the island. So C, A, B, D, C, and D. Okay, don't confuse yourself. Should be fairly easy at that point. Okay, so you should get those right. Okay, so here we have to complete the sentences. Last two questions. This type of question, you should try to complete the sentence on your own first and then match the correct answer. Because the number of people that move permanently to the island is so small, what? So what happens because people don't really move to this island? So what happens on this island? Cillian Wang is asking, why is it not B for the last one? Cillian Wang, Tristan de Cunha cannot be discovered by people of Tristan de Cunha. They're there, okay? They are discovered by someone. Okay, so number 12, because the number of people that move permanently to the island is so small, what happens? There are specific kinds of illnesses, right? Like asthma and glaucoma. Okay, so you have to finish that by yourself. What else? What else is unique about Tristan de Cunha, because there are so few people who actually move there? And somebody said this at the beginning of the lesson, that they use a unique kind of English, right? So their genetics is unique, their surnames are unique, and they have unique language. Yeah, so very good. So that's what you should be thinking. Unique names, unique language, and unique illness or genetics. Okay? So that's what you're looking for in the answers. So unique names, unique language, unique illness, or genetics. So because the number of people that move permanently to the island is so small, last names remain the same for generations. That looks pretty good. Asthma is very rare. That's wrong. That's the opposite. Very different from other variations of English. That looks good, but the grammar is wrong. Okay? Continually developing often confuses to outsiders. That doesn't make sense. So the best answer is the names, right? So unique names. So last names remain the same for generations. A. Okay. All right, last question. Due to its remoteness, the dialect of Tristanians is, so the dialect is the language, is different, right? So I'd say it's different. It's a different kind of English. All right, so very different from other variations of English. C looks good. Amin, Prathamesh, Mandeep, Gamer, Viet, agree that it's C. Okay, good. Let's check our answers. Answer keys are always found in the back of your book, 225. Here we go. So the answers are, let's see how we did. FEC, I think those were correct. BAC, those I believe were correct as well. A, B, D, and C for number 10. Number 11 is D. Number 12 is A. Number 13 is C. So that was a perfect score. And we took a bit of time to answer that reading passage, but when you practice these strategies at home, students, then you can become very quick and very confident that you are giving correct answers to these questions. So again, remember these important points from today's lesson, that skimming and scanning do not work for higher band scores. For higher band scores, you have to read the passage. You have to improve your active reading skills. You can improve your active reading skills by asking and answering questions about a passage with a partner. Okay, it's a really good exercise for partners. And you need to understand specific strategies for certain questions. When you can answer one question correctly, then that will help you with other questions in the passage. I hope that that was clear from today's lesson. If you have any questions and you're not sure of how it works, you can always send me an email. And of course, you can look at some other lessons on our channel. Here's my email again, students, adrian@aehelp.com. If you have any questions about our products, let me know. These materials come from our websites. Check us out at aehelp.com. This is my student account. This is what the main page looks like there. And if you are studying for general IELTS, check us out here. It's the green background. Click that big red button and join us there. That's it for today. Tomorrow will be a members chat class. Everybody's welcome to view. Members, make sure you are present. Make sure to send me some suggestions for topics. Have an awesome rest of your day, students. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for your contributions, your participation. I hope you picked up some new vocabulary, some new grammar, and hopefully communication and test strategies as well. Bye for now. Have a great rest of your day.